this video, I'll be talking about my working experience with E4 trading. This includes video formats, resources, workflow, and everything in between. Now, the Pokemon trading card game has gained immense popularity over the past decade. Social media is a great reflection of this fact, with countless, dare I say thousands, of YouTube channels and TikTok pages being launched dedicated to this new trend. One of them being the company I work for, aka E4 Trading. With that being said, as of recording this video, I've been working with E4 Trading for about a year now, and we've made a lot of content together. And speaking of content, there are usually 3 types of content, aka video format, that I usually work on: highlights, updates, and more recently, compilations. Obviously, I'll be breaking down each and every single one, and obviously I'll be showing you the working process for each one. Oh, and if you haven't noticed already, these are not long form videos, these are shorts. TikTok reels, but it's the same thing. And I'm not just limited to editing alone. I mean, scripting, brainstorming, voiceovering, all those responsibilities fall on me. And you'd think that's a lot of work, but keep in mind, the end result is like 40 seconds long. I mean, for the compilation video, they're like 2 minutes at most, but even so, the turnaround time on those things is like, what, 6-7 hours? So let's not waste any more time and start with the first format, aka the highlights. These shorts are meant to highlight some of the best pulls from the stream. Mainly it's 1 pack, maybe 2, but again, that's pretty rare. On some of them, you can kind of tell that it's edited by me, you know, since you can literally hear my voice. And the editing process itself is actually pretty straightforward. I mean, I crop the video, add a transition or two, some music, all the zoom ins and zoom outs, which often include tracking, obviously. Speaking of obvious, some sound effects, we definitely need those. And most importantly, the price. Now, this is a pretty big question. How do I find out the price of each and every single card? Do I just go back and forth? No, there are actually a couple of sites that I use. eBay is one of them, I guess. But pricecarding.com is by far the best website to use when it comes to stuff like this. First of all, it's hella easy to use. Second of all, it's really accurate. Third of all, it doesn't even apply to Pokemon game card thingy majiggies alone. Like Magic the Gathering has plenty of those as well. Before we continue, can we please address the elephant in the room? Why are you not subscribed? Please do that. You're making this really awkward for me. But apart from that, I think we're pretty much done with the highlights video, and we're ready to move on to the next one. We can move on to the updates. See, over on this side, I mainly talk about new packs getting dropped, upcoming releases, and how the company already has them in stock. And yes, I do the scripting and recording all by myself. The team usually sends me bullet points containing all the important information they want me to talk about, and the rest is pretty much up to me. I mean, like hook, pacing, structure, delivery, everything. The scripting process itself is top to bottom my responsibility. And obviously everything is happening in a Google Doc, which the company has access to at all times. And obviously I send them the script before I start recording just to make sure they're happy with everything. And they almost always are. Maybe they want to move the order around or want something new included, but for the most part, they're pretty happy with the scripting. And just in case you were wondering, yes, I had to do the voiceover multiple times with a sore throat. Shout out Winnie the Pooh for the honey. That motherfucker came in clutch. Not that kind of honey. Get your head out of the gutter. Now, a good rule of thumb is you always want to record each line a couple of times just in case. In fact, I'm doing it for this video. Yes, it does make editing a bit of a pain in the nub, but at the end of the day, you get the best quality possible. So once all the recording is done, I send it all over to Premiere and I start scrubbing through the entirety of the audio, picking the best lines, putting them back together, and once everything's sort of combined, the rest is pretty straightforward. Actually, pretty similar to the highlight videos. Now, credit where credit is due, the team does occasionally help me out and ease my workload by sending me the audio themselves. This helps me edit the video a lot faster, deliver it quicker, and genuinely the help is much appreciated. So when it comes to the video aspect itself, well, for stock footage, I basically like to use some of the videos that the boys send me. For the most part, I like to do my own research. I'm talking trailers, promotions, ads, and everything in between. I'll even add in some custom animations every now and then just to make our videos that much more unique and distinct. When it comes to the editing itself, I feel like the workload is a little lighter, actually much lighter. Actually, what's wrong with being obsessed with loads today? I don't focus on pricing all that much. I don't have to research card prices, nor do I have to worry about clipping. So yes, there is that plus side. But on the other hand, the scripting, the voiceover, and even at times where I don't do any of that and I just get a pre-done voiceover audio file, cutting out all the silences, pacing and formatting everything correctly, often asking to maybe record something else just to make the video that much better to listen to, that kind of ends up tipping the scale pretty evenly, honestly. Because keep in mind, the end result is always going to be the same. We need a fast-paced video which has great delivery, really good pacing, plenty of emotion, and all of that without damaging the retention and the engagement. And honestly, more often than not, actually a lot more often than not, we end up with just that. I mean, sure, we have to make some adjustments, a couple of tweaks, an error pops up every now and then, but it'll be stupid for me to say that this is on this channel or these videos in general, because basically every other project I work on with almost every other client, as much as quality control I try to do, there's always gonna be every now and then that one error or one little thing that all of us missed.
Hey, before we continue, did you subscribe? I thought you liked my editing. Why don't you want to subscribe?
So long story short, video format number 1 and video format number 2, their workload is relatively similar. But I can't say the same about video format number 3, aka compilations. Similar to format number 1, these are highlights. Unlike format number 1, these are not highlights of the day, these are highlights of the week, meaning they're a lot more dynamic and much more fast-paced compared to the other two. So how is it made and how is it different? Well, first of all, let's start with the footage. I either receive 7 to 19 individual clips, or I receive one massive hour-and-a-half long stream video. And obviously it comes with timestamps for me to clip them myself, but you get the point. It's one of the two. And this would be a good time for me to mention that the final product at all times has to be under 2 minutes long, and 1:59 apparently qualifies as that. This is done to make sure we don't kill the retention and don't kill the engagement. And to help with that, I like to flash all the best pulls in the intro, just so the viewer is A, hooked and interested, B, understands what to expect / look for in the compilation video. Now that I think about it, other than that, everything is basically the same as format number 1, except, well, faster. Actually, a lot faster. Transition, boom, price, next. Rinse and repeat over and over and over. Well, it's not exactly the same. I'll add some different sound effects, I'll add some tracking, I'll switch the pattern up. It's not exactly the same, obviously, because you'd get bored of that in the first 30 seconds. Screw 2 minutes. You get the point. And speaking of points, I think I'm done with all of mine. That's pretty much it. Now, with all that being said, the videos obviously experienced a lot of change. For example, we stopped using certain sound effects, started using more fresher and better fonts, newer and easier to work with transitions. We innovate, we improve, and I believe that that is exactly what's keeping the community engaged at all times. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Let's see what the client has to say themselves.
Here, I'll put it in sections. I think we can start off let's say pricing. I think pricing wise was pretty reasonable. I think it was fair. Okay. Especially since you were very reliable and sometimes you give me discounts all the time, things like that. Honest, very fast, and good. I think it's good content for what I was asking. It wasn't the hardest thing to make, but for what I was asking, I was pretty happy 90% of the time. It's just me nitpicking. The unlimited revisions, that's really good. Overall, I guess out of 10, I'd give it a 9.
Solid.
Subscribe.